Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Long time no see. I hope everybody's doing well. We'll give some time to let some people jump in here. We got a cool one for everybody tonight. Sorry I took last week off. Things were a little crazy. Let me get some music playing up in here real quick. Of course, as soon as I started doing this, people started... Oh. Thought somebody was yelling at my studio mates. Yeah. Oh, shout out, people are jumping in here. We got some people from Facebook. Shout out and drop your names in the comments. We'll see you. We'll shout you out. We got a really cool one for tonight. Yeah. Have to hang up one more poster. See what this slot is just killing me in here. I was trying to decorate this back wall for you guys because I know it's always plenty of shit. So found a few posters I could throw up so it wasn't so throw up looking. Shout out to everybody that's jumping in here though. You still waiting for our YouTube. Oh, shout out to Jess, what's up, player? Shout out to Jess on Facebook. We got a cool one tonight, so I'm sure you guys saw the thumbnail. Got my man Ardamus. He's before after here. Washington He put out a new album called LIMBROSIA, the other day. So we're going to talk about that. Shout out to people jumping into YouTube now too. Now we're starting to even playing field here. We got some YouTubers, Facebookers, we got a bunch of turning up tonight. I didn't go up last week. So basically, oh, nice. We need that. Hear the music on my side. How's that now? Does that make it any better? Make sure the right mic's set up here too. Probably check. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, okay. Perfect. Thank you. That's why I like jumping in here early, because it's always I never know. Oh, you know why I don't know what's going on? Because I don't have my speakers on. I was like, I don't even hear the music. Probably help if I had my speakers going. Just said much better. Hell yeah. So thank you guys for tuning into the show tonight. Welcome back. If you've already checked out a couple of the first episodes, welcome home, or welcome for the first time if this is your first time checking it out. Like I said, sorry I didn't check in last week. The team and I had a ton of stuff happening. We started a run of shows. We hosted our own stage at the Holiday Stroll. We'll talk more about that, but there was a ton of stuff happening, so that's why I just needed to take a moment to recoup. I see my man Ardamus backstage already. I'm excited to bring him out. It's going to be a really fun one. Like I said, Ardamus was the Washington City Paper 2024 Hip Hop Act of the Year, and he just released a brand new album called LIMBROSIA, so I'm excited to talk to him about that tonight. Let me run through some of the opening stuff that we were just talking about. So my music choice for this week, music of the week, is going to be the new Trill Static 4 from Bun B and Static Selecta. I've only got to listen through it like once or twice so far, but I'm one of those people that I love anything Bun B does, and being a New Hampshire boy, I got to support Static Selecta. So it's awesome that they've done 4 of these now and that they just seem to be honestly getting better. I really enjoyed this one so far. You got the track with the Griselda guys on it, which is dope. So really excited about that one. I'm going to probably give that a few more spins this week as well. Let me know in the comments what you guys are listening to too. You know, I'm always trying to get some feedback on the kind of stuff that you guys are listening to as well. For my movie of the week this week, I had to pick 2 because I had one all lined up to talk about, and then last night we ended up kind of pulling a random one out from the Criterion channel, and it was just too good to not mention. So my first choice for movie of the week was going to be The Wrong Man, which was directed by Alfred Hitchcock in 1956. Basically, it takes place 3 years earlier. So in 1953, there's this innocent guy. He's a bass player for like a house band. His name is Manny Balistrero, and he ends up getting arrested one night. He's mistaken for an armed robber, and I don't want to say too much because obviously he's the wrong man. It's Henry Fonda and Vera Miles amidst a cast of just like hard, stern, cold characters. You know, it's like a good mix of like mystery, drama kind of thing. So that was my choice for the week. And then last night, me and my girlfriend ended up watching a movie called The Doom Generation, which is from 1995, directed by Greg Araki. And it's like the perfect 90s movie. It's Rose McGowan and James Duval. They play these 2 troubled teens that are just kind of like floating around. They end up coming across and picking up this drifter, the actor Jonathan Skate, I believe his name is. And basically the 3 of them embark on this crazy like sex and violence filled journey, and every time they stop somewhere something chaotic happens, and it's just one of those like really fun 90s movies, and they really push everything to the limit in a good way. The soundtrack is awesome as well. So those are my 2 choices for the week: The Doom Generation from 1995 as well as The Wrong Man from 1956. If you want to talk more about movie stuff, or if you want to know more about the movies that I'm into week to week, make sure you follow me on Letterboxd. My username there is just Cody Pope, one word. Anytime I watch something, I put it on there. I try and leave a review. So hit me up on there and we can talk movies all day. My read of the week is still the same. Still reading Subliminal by Leonard Mlodinow now. And Subliminal has been really, really cool. It just really makes you think a lot about some of the ways that you interact with people, some of the ways that you perceive things. So I feel like when I finally get through this, it's going to really help me kind of shift my momentum and shift my ability to progress a little bit more. Let me run through some event listings going down. So tomorrow night, tomorrow morning, the Women's Business Circle is hosting a networking event that is from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Lawrence Barn in Hollis, New Hampshire. The Women's Business Circle hosts events every single week. They do networking events. They do events with speakers. It's open to everybody. They're really, really cool events, so you should definitely check that out if you're in that area. It's in Hollis, New Hampshire tomorrow. And they have a group on Facebook where you can get more of their information. Tomorrow night at the Nashua Public Library is going to be second installment of Stand Up Nashua. It's a stand-up comedy night. There's going to be some poets there as well. Pretty sure it's free to attend, or there might be a donation. But I love the Nashua Public Library, and they just seem to be expanding their repertoire of events and really trying to create things to engage the community. So shout out to the library, and shout out to all the people starting to take advantage of what the library has to offer. This Friday, December 13th, my friends the Evolutionists, featuring Be the Evolutionist and Ruby Shabazz, them and their live band are going to be hosting their winter jam at Warp and Weft in Lowell, Massachusetts. That's this Friday. Saturday is a crazy day. Up in Portland, Maine, Bose is hosting P-Dank Christmas 2024 at Aura, which obviously, if you know anything about Spose, the Christmas show is like one of the biggest shows he does every year. Also on Saturday, Rick Rude and Ezra Cohen are going to be playing at Auspicious Brew in Dover, New Hampshire. That's going to be a really, really cool show. Super New Hampshire band right there. And then Saturday also is the Sound Off Saturdays holiday party in Manchester at the Shaskeen. Sound Off Saturdays is hosted by Sean Caliber and DJ Myth. They do these events nearly every week. They're just like awesome parties and networking events and just really great. You know DJ Myth, you already know it's a good time. So lots of shit happening all over the Northeast on Saturday. Saturday into Sunday, the Worcester Punk Rock Flea Market is going down at Hotel Vernon in Worcester, Mass. It's going to be really cool. There's going to be dozens of vendors, music, all sorts of shit happening there. If you're in that area, that's definitely worth checking out. We're all the local businesses there. And then some shameless self-plug. Myself, Cody Pope, and Byron G are going to be performing live on WMNH Radio 95.3 FM on Saturday, December 21st. It's going to be at like 11 o'clock in the morning. And the next day, Sunday, December 22nd, is going to be our last show of the year. We're going to be playing at the one and only Rap Night Manchester at the Shaskeen. That is going to be our last show, and it's going to be one of the funnest shows of the year. So make sure that you turn up for that. If you have a show or an event, a pop-up, anything that you want to get listed in future podcast episodes, please don't hesitate to send me an email with your flyer or information. Send all of your stuff to codycentralshow@gmail.com. Let me see if I can throw this right here. So right down at the bottom, codycentralshow.com. If you want to have your event promoted in the show, you want to sponsor the pod, anything like that, just send an email there. And that is what we're doing for that. So I'm excited to get into this interview portion of the show now. Okay. So I'm absolutely thrilled to have locked in with tonight's guest. We admittedly kind of pulled this together super late today because the other day I was inspired to reach out after attending a digital listening party for his brand new album, LIMBROSIA. We met years ago when the Washington D.C. native made his way to my hometown, Nashville, New Hampshire, as part of his summer tour that year. But now we have more time to talk shop, share ideas, and spread the word about his new album. My guest tonight, please welcome artist and Goldbrick Olympics Records founder, my friend Ardamus. What's going on, bro? How are you?
I'm chilling, man. Chilling. For having me. Well, for this, you can hear me good, right?
Yeah, you're chopping out a little bit, but let me see. I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit and see if that helps too.
All right, can you hear me better?
Yeah, there you go. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Thank you for hitting me up to do this interview. Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Doing really good. I'm just glad the album's out. Took a lot of time to put that together, man. That was one of those kind of albums that you revise like so many tracks. So, it was initially like 30 to 40 tracks I probably went through for that project. And I'm just glad it came together the way it did. Get the responses getting, so I appreciate being talking about it.
Yeah, man, I love the record. I was really happy to be part of that digital listening party, and it was cool to get people's insight in the chat while that was happening. That was really fun, and it's like inspired me to want to keep listening to it over and over again too. So obviously, I think it's safe to assume that there's probably a good amount of my viewers on here who aren't super familiar with you.
Right.
We just got introduced a few years ago, as I had mentioned in the intro, but there is so much that's happened before you and I got connected. So I'd like to start by asking, when did the music journey kind of start for you, and what was it that made you take that initial leap? I found some joints that go as far back as like 1999
Yeah.
under your stage name Ardamus. So
Uh,
I was curious if there were other like musical endeavors before this, or was that kind of the time in your life when you wanted to like jump into the music shit?
oh man, that's a good question. So I'm originally from Nashville, but I've been in like damn near over half. So I started rapping when I want to say 8, but I didn't really it. I didn't take it that seriously until like was like 13. But even then, I full time do it all the time. I couldn't find I couldn't find a studio to get into. I couldn't find like I had a support system, but I didn't have a support system because me and my friends grew up on hip hop, and down in Nashville, a majority of it was like a lot of gangster, you know. But you had like gospel, you had like all these different other kind of acts that were around. When I was in high school, I remember seeing Count Basie at a function downtown. It was this festival called Summer Lights, and this is when Count Basie he had his album uh, Midlife Crisis, or I think it was called Crisis. Anyways, that inspired me to see him in high school do that, like play the roads of rap at the same time. There was groups like Utopia State that was dope. This gospel group called the Grits, Notaverse. It was another like all these kind of different hip hop acts that inspired me, but I didn't get to work on it until I left the college in D.C. up here now. And that project I'm talking about for my time, I after a while of just around and everything, I wound up meeting this 3-piece that had a studio in East Nashville. So when I was back home off a break from college, I got up with them. I met him through a old friend of mine, this dude named Andy. He would like rap with them or whatever. The drummer did the beats. The bassist was doing the mixing, I think, and the guitarist would do the math. I can't remember how it worked out. But yeah, Life is a Humbling Experience was like the first project I got to record. Uh, and it did come out in '99, kind of. I didn't really put it out till like early 2000s because I was trying to get money CDs and I got artist set them up. So it was like that was kind of to a degree. And then there were like battles, you know what I mean? All kinds of like rap battles. I do the freestyle stuff. Travel state to state. Sometimes with my people from college, we battle, or we go up on U Street and battle a lot of it because that was like the hub, for the hip hop. There was a lot of shit I shouldn't have been doing. I was hitting the streets sometimes, and I should have school books, but I would like rap. I would like write rap, go back to my books, and then like do whatever else. So that's kind of.
I love that. Dude, I'm gonna before we jump further, do you have any like AirPods or headphone or anything that you can plug in? Only because your voice keeps cutting out, so I just don't want anybody to like miss what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm like, shit. Oh, a second. Make sure I got them. Dang it. Hold on 1 second.
My bad.
No, you good. You good. I'm just trying to see if I still have my headphones. I probably should put those in earlier. Dang it. Can't find them. Yeah, I've lost my AirPods actually. That's the problem. And I have some wired ones that I usually have with me. I'm trying to find those.
No worries. We'll make do if we need to.
No doubt. No, I know how I go. Like, I haven't been on StreamYard in a while. That's the problem. I forgot it's like StreamYard is like that. So, it's all good. But yeah, it was fun. I don't know what to do.
So far, so good. It seemed to be. I think it's just it does this thing where I think if your like speaker is playing something, it like mutes your voice, thinking that you're listening to it. But
okay.
So like while you were talking, it would like kind of chop out every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not doing it now, so knock on wood.
Oh yeah, make sure. And maybe I'm like all up in the camera. This might work. Maybe that'll help it out. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was basically kind of started it. I mean, there's a lot of other mini little weird stories there, like just a state of trying to like rap in Nashville at a time. Like, shouts to everybody who's been making it down there. I mean, Wally Clark, Jelly Roll, Young Buck, Marigold, Gaze Away, or rapper, Make Beats or whatever, like, because there's so much talent that comes out of there. It's just like, it's a Bible Belt, like, area. Like, it's as diverse as it is. It's like smack dab in the middle of all that. So, they got clubs where they make a big deal about you not tucking in your shirt or something. It's like that's real. I'm telling you.
Man, that's wild.
It's real too. So like to try to get things popping there, I mean, it was tough in my opinion. I think it's a little bit better now, but now it's more expensive. So it's like, come on, man. Like,
I know. It's like, of course, now that like a music scene is more accessible, it's also like way more gentrified and expensive to live there too.
Yeah, man. I'm always talking to people down there too. And they telling me this area is different, that area is different. It's wild, But I kind of did wish I went back just to kind of like see what I could do more, because I see my man Spoken Nerd, shout out to Spoken Nerd. He's down with Fake 4.
Yeah.
I got to build with him a little bit when he came through D.C. But it was just dope to see somebody else. It's like, trying to grind it out in the 615, and I wanted to do more of that, but DC has such an underrated kind of culture of music, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, when it comes to hip hop, it's taken a lot of the different like elements of go-go music that's based out of here and implemented into the music. And it gets shouted out, but it doesn't get shouted out enough. So with that said, you got like a lot of my mentors and people who I've looked up to musically, like kind of are here, you know what I'm saying? And so I kept me focused.
Dude, I can totally get that because like so much of my understanding of like DC music culture comes from punk rock, coincidentally, because Discord Records and like Minor Threat and like all of that kind of stuff, Ian Mackay, like that was the kind of stuff that even introduced me to go-go music and like watching like clips of Minor Threat and Trouble Funk playing shows together, doing like funk jams and stuff. That like put me on to like, wow, there's so much culture in DC that just like never seems to go past the city limits, it's just such a rich culture if you're there. But it's like sad that it's not more like explored by the rest of the world.
It's funny you mentioned Ian Mackay because this is gonna trip you out and say this. I ran into him when I was on U Street, right? And there was this place called Copper House where they would have like Tuesday nights where it was like hip hop night. And my homeboy Rock Creek Lee, who's like a dope rapper and like a graphic artist, shout out to him. He would work there and like help with the events. So one night a bunch of us was like going down to meet down there, right? And it was just already a cypher outside, and like there was a rock band's playing in the venue. We were like, what's going on? And like I think something happened where it was a special night where it was double booked or something. And we were just all just freestyle rapping. We see this bald white dude just like kicking it around us, right? He's just all around us, you know. We're just like, who is this dude? And then like I get to talking to him. I find out it's Ian MacKaye. I'm like, oh shit. So like it's crazy. Like he just wanted to kick it with us because like he knew about the bands in the performing in the venue. I was like, okay. I had his number and I lost it that yeah, I lost it, man. I don't know how I did that. I lost it when I got back to my dorm room. But this is the crazier thing, right? So my so one of my best friends from Howard, right? He's like a full-time DJ, right? When he got out, he moved around in the city a little bit. He wound up living on what was it, Ingleside, which is like in Mount Pleasant area. The guy that owned the house, or can't remember if you owned it or not, is a dude Jerry Bushy, who's a drummer for Fugazi. So I wind up I don't wind up running into Ian MacKaye because of this, but the connection was crazy. And I told Jerry about the story. He tripped out. It was funny because me and Jerry, my man Hash, who he plays bass for a Thievery Corporation, and he plays with D'Angelo Moore sometimes, right?
Damn.
We wound up doing this project called Ingleside Collective. It was myself, my man Arnell, who I do a lot of music with, and this cat Nabi, and we wound up doing a couple shows together. That was fun, but like I said, like that sometimes that's like a crazy kind of like small circle, of just like creators, you know what I'm saying? And I wind up around to Ian MacKaye like 2 or 3 other times. You know, I saw him this year. Friend of mine who I did music with passed away. And he was there. We talked for a second. He remembered me too. I was like, oh yeah. So, you know, it's crazy. He's just a normal dude chilling, man. He just goes around. He just does his thing, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Well, that's why him and Henry Rollins have been such huge inspirations to me,
right,
for a number of reasons. But like one of the big things that I translate over to like hip hop is like the archival process. You know, like one of the things that Discord is most reputable for is putting out only DC area music, and like doing it all in that same house. And like to this day, writing checks and sending artists checks for CDs that are it's such a like a viable economy for art that's never been perverted by the outside music industry. Right. And now it's going on almost 40 years. And so you can go back and there's so much in this archive of like, oh, well, this band there was never a MySpace at this time, or there was never YouTube, or you know, these bands weren't going to get a chance to be on MTV, but they have a collection of 7 inches and CDs and tapes. And you know, even like going to the Fugazi thing, I'm sure you probably know, but if you go on Discord's website, they video recorded every Fugazi show and got the audio from the soundboard. And so you can go and watch literally like thousands of shows of theirs. Yeah. Oh no, what were you gonna say?
No, Jerry. So I think he mentioned something about that, about the archive stuff. I don't know about it all as well, but I know for a fact that they told me about it a couple of times when they were archiving shows and just kind of back cataloging a lot of like releases they've had over years. So that's dope. That's definitely dope.
You know, it's like we just don't have that in hip hop culture the same way. Like people have never really been concerned with archiving history. It's always been like, let's get what's new and fresh, and what's the quickest way to get things to the people, and what's the most affordable, you know. And it's like it loses some of its like lust and some of its longevity because we're turning product so quickly.
Right.
That one of the things I've just taken so much from like the whole Discord thing is just like that good art doesn't have a timeline. You know, like a record that comes out this year that's dope should be dope in 10 years, you know?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, the timeline, like, it's way too much of a thing where it's too microwavable, so to speak, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it should be more it should be more of a thing where there's a lot more of a lot more of like a longevity and legacy behind it, not just like microwavable. Um, and hopefully, I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get there. We just the right people need to be in the right like spaces and areas, mindsets, and different types of organizations. So hopefully, we're gonna have that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That things are becoming more and more accessible now, and it's just about like getting the right people the right tools.
Right. No, you're right. You're exactly right.
This was like such a great segue that we took unexpectedly, because my next
Mm-hmm.
question literally was looking through your catalog.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of visual inspiration through your catalog as you get into the later years.
Mm-hmm.
If I picked up correctly, there's like some nods to Blue Note, maybe a nod
Yeah.
to Nirvana, amongst like some other stuff. So I just wanted to ask, like, what were some of your like sonically relative music influences that you feel maybe like bleed into your work?
Yo, I think I know what you. Okay, the Nirvana one. I think that was actually that was a dedication to Sade.
Ooh,
But
okay.
that's the same typeface though. That's crazy. That's crazy. You said Nirvana. No. That's. I mean, I'm a fan of Nirvana, of course, and that's crazy. You thought that. But yeah, sonically, you asked. Um, let's see. Man, it's a lot of people. I mean, I would say Roy Ayers is like in terms of just jazz, coming up. I'm a big Razzcast fan when it comes to lyrics and everything. Devin the Dude, um, old Modest Mouse. Um,
Ooh.
before they got signed and popular and all that.
Talking
Like
Dramamine?
I'm talking about like what's that song they had? This boat is totally crashing. Yeah, that shit.
Dude, I love that record, dude. I love Modest Mouse.
Yeah, like the Lonesome Crowded West. That's the record. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, like stuff like that. Man's Life, Fantastic Volume 1. That's an important album to me. Like that album, that got me through some things in the mid 2000s. The Homie Slug Atmosphere. I really like their stuff, man. Yeah, Slug's a good dude, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to Ant. Hey, man, DJ Premier, Pete Rock. I can go on, man. There's a lot of different like influences as far as like music. Portishead is probably one of the most important groups to me too. Portishead. Yeah, I gotta say that. And then, you know what? I take inspirations from movies too. Indiana Jones is probably a crazy inspiration for me as far as just like watching them get into like a bunch of wild stuff and trying to figure out shit. Back to the Future, Karate Kid.
That's dope. I love
yeah,
that.
all the weird ass, nerdy ass, like protagonist, antagonist kind of movies and shit, like Harlem Nights, Boomerang, all the classic black movies that you can think of too. Like those inspired me too to like make a lot of music.
Dude, I love that you said Harlem Nights, dude. What a great movie. That's one of those movies that I think I've probably watched into double digit times.
Yes.
It just never is. It's never not funny,
Yes. Oh, so man, my parents took me to like we had a family outing for that movie, and I never forget. Yo, I could not believe that they took me to see that movie. To this day, it's still weird. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, y'all took me to see that in the theaters. Y'all crazy? And then it was that was my joint, man. And it's weird how I didn't realize like now how movies have influenced some of the music I want to make, because I'm listening to like this to how the scripts are written. I'm looking at how like things are being directed, and even sometimes the soundtrack. And I guess part of it is like a group like De La Soul, right? De La Soul, they basically started the skit. Um, well, the whole thing of having skits on the album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for them to be able to like kind of craft that, you know what I'm saying? It I think it really helped like mold a lot of ideas, you know, in terms of sound, like make it cinematic, you know. And I feel like that really made me want to like try to do some more of that in my music. So
Damn, I love that. And that makes it. You can see that with a lot of your records too. There's
mhm,
one. There's one that I'm gonna mention later because I
mhm,
like. But it makes sense. Like, yeah, fucking
mhm,
wow. It's so I'm glad that you mentioned so much like variety in your inspiration because my next question is that outside of your like there's a ton of stuff in your solo music catalog,
mhm.
but I've also noticed that you work with these funk musicians called Strangers That Click. How did your
Yeah.
relationship with them come to be, and how did that kind of like impact your craft overall?
All right, so this is kind of hilarious how this like that even happened. Um, I was in two bands before, right? And actually, I wound up being in Strangers to Click made the third band. Like, mind you, I'm in three bands at the same time working on my solo stuff. That was the craziest thing I've ever done. I don't know if I could ever do that again. I had no time for myself, damn near at one point. But that came together because there's this thing called Funk Parade. Like, speaking of which, Funk Parade, right? We so basically it's like a bunch of people, a bunch of groups of musicians. They will perform kind of like not all over DC, but a particular area. So it'd be like a couple of places over here and over there. They would block off part of the streets or whatever at one point, but they stopped doing that and just had people like play on the sidewalk. Um, one year, myself and my homeboy Arnell, we got invited to be a part of the funk parade. We were doing a cipher, so we tried to get Damu to do it. That fell through. So we got my man Black Mav, rest in peace and power, paradise. He came through, blessed us with some beats for the cipher. So it was myself, my man Arnell, my man Flex came through, Dior Ashley Brown. I can't think of who else. There were a couple of people that came by to rap or whatever, right? So we're freestyling, going crazy. Now, this dude from Canada, he's just like chilling there. He asked us to rap about a question. He asked me the question to rap about. I kind of like joked on him about it in a freestyle. It was just like kind of making fun of it, but whatever. So, my man Flex, right? Flex, he does like a lot of Flex Matthews, like he does like all kinds of stuff with different people all the time. He's in bands or whatever. The drummer, my who ends up being a drummer, Strangers to Click, he gives Flex a card like, hey, he's trying to put something together, but he doesn't know how to like connect with people really. Da, da, da. I was like, cool, I'll hear him out. And I waited because I was like, I don't know if I want to do another project, but I was like, all right. We got up at this place, Soleros. Me and now my drummer, he talked about it. He was like, yeah, man, I want to put together this thing with me and the drums, and then I got bass and guitar and a brass band. I'm like, all right, cool. So we had like a audition for some people, and like that was that didn't work out. We gradually built it up, and it became Strangers That Click. I came up with the name and got the logo together for it. We've been a band for about, I think we started the band probably like 2018 probably. So off and on, like we would like do stuff and then we'd chill. He'd go back to Canada and like take care of some family stuff, come back. We'd lose people, get people back. You know, um, it's been a dope journey. Like it's like the first band that I've completed a lot more like full length projects with. You know, so that's, yeah, it's been dope to like perform with them, man. finally getting our album out this year was a big deal, you know. So, yeah, man, it was just definitely one of those. It's definitely a project I'm proud of. Looking forward to making more music with them.
I know, I love it, dude. It's gotta challenge you as a songwriter too, to
Yeah,
figure out how to keep your essence and keep your style, but also be malleable to the new like canvas that you're working with too.
right. You gotta listen to the band, and the band has to hear you too. Like it's a very like symbiotic kind of relationship there with the band. They're very open to my ideas, and then I'm open to their ideas. So we try to trade it back and forth. Um, and sometimes, you think about it with musicians. Sometimes musicians don't want to play it 4/4 all the time. They need certain things to sound different ways. Like they need, like instead of just playing it 4/4 or whatever, they might want to do something in 6/8 maybe or 3/4, and you just gotta adjust to it. Like luckily for me, I've been in a couple like band situations where it kind of just worked out where I was able to adapt. Like all this like freestyling and battling, I'm doing like freestyle topics. I'm freestyling over jungle drum and bass, and like stuff in weird time signatures, tempo slowing down, speeding up. It kind of helped me get to the point where I could work with bands that do that kind of stuff too. Um, and it's not easy though. It's like you gotta train your mind, and like you gotta train your like whole the whole way of how you go about like writing raps and all that, like a certain way. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's a different level of versatility.
yeah, man,
Uh,
definitely tough. Go ahead.
no, what were you saying?
No, I said it's definitely tough, but it's worth it. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. When I first got put onto your music, it was largely through the Cold Rhymes Records crew and all the
Oh
great
yeah,
people over there.
yeah, man.
I know you've done some records with them, most recently the super
Mhm.
gnarly psychedelic city cowboy shit, which I
Yeah, man. Thank
uh,
you, thank you.
I noticed with this new release and a lot of your other releases, however, that they've come out through your self-owned Goldbrick Olympics record label.
Right.
And as a fellow record label owner myself, I wanted to ask like when you started the label and what was the inspiration behind it and how it kind of compares when you do a record through Goldbrick versus when you do a record with say like Cold Rhymes or somebody like that.
So when I was working on the Winter Gold Brick Olympian, um, one thing I did was one thing I was doing was I was doing like these word of the day freestyles on TikTok, right? Um, and I was like looking up different words I'd never heard, and I just freestyle about each time. Boom, all right, cool. Boom. And I came across the word called Gold Brick. I was like, it stuck with me. It's like working but not working as hard. Like it's
Wow.
almost something like that. Yeah. Like I kind of attributed that to like working working smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? Um, and for some reason, I threw the Olympic thing in there just because that's kind of like that's kind of it though. It's kind of like a challenge or a sport, to do that.
Yeah.
So I it's like Goldbrick Olympics. Why not? Because when I was working on the Winter Goldbrick Olympian with Hype, that was like the only time I've ever done like a holiday record. You know, um, like that record was fun. It was a challenge because there were things on there where I was like kind of challenging my mind to write a certain way and like kind of complete a record kind of like in a fast like turnaround too. Um, but it was dope that we did that. I came up with Goldbrick Olympics, and then I was now start branding it some more because honestly, I wanted to put LIMBROSIA out on Cold Rhymes Records, but Height fell back because he's doing a lot with wave generators,
Yeah.
and he already Height knows that me and him good. I understood his situation with Cold Rhymes when he was explaining it to me, and I was like, yo, all right, don't trip, bro. Like whenever you're ready to get that back off the ground, I'm down to do it. Um, that was the thing. Like, there's not. I would say like when you have your own kind of like label. I mean, for me right now, it's just me right now, to be real with you. But I want to be able to put other people's records out. But I have to. For me, I've been putting out records myself so long. The problem is I haven't done it in the most organized fashion every time either.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's like you got to figure out how to go about that in a way where, you know, even if it's like a compilation, you know, because that's what I want to. I'll start with that. Even with a compilation, you got to figure out what's an organized pattern that you could like do that in. So I think that's been the real challenge for me, and and making decisions too. You know, like you realize when you're the owner, you know, you gotta make decisions, and then you know, are you going to build up a team or not? Are you going to do this? Are you going to there's just so many questions that you have to decide. Um, so I've been making a few decisions with Goldbrick Olympics, and I'm not gonna say it's just gonna be a label. I want it to be a little bit more than that because I've been a very been big on the whole mental health thing, even before the wave of it came up. You know, I've been very big on that, and I want to tie that in with some music stuff and some I have a few other ideas. I don't want to put it out there yet, but there's some things coming down the pipeline that I'm working on that I want to involve the company in. So yeah, we're gonna make it happen.
I love that, dude. That's awesome. I'm a huge proponent of artist-owned record labels at this day and age. You know, it's like I know it's a controversial conversation in a lot of industry spaces, but I just feel like in the pastures that we roam, it's like you're almost safer with an artist. You know, if the artist can set themselves aside to facilitate your vision, then it's like you've got a perfect partner because no business person is going to understand you the way another artist is going to.
Right, too. And I want to be able to, and that's why the whole organization thing is important because, you know, we're a long way from the days where you can just like sell your CD or tape on the corner for like 10, and then hopefully like people will like you enough to like brag about you all the time. It doesn't always work that way, you know. You gotta have things like right there. I'm not gonna say you need to have a business card or your face plastered on a banner everywhere, but you know, you like show people that you have like a lot. Yeah. You know, I know, right? See, you know, but like, yeah, you just gotta show people that you take what you're doing seriously enough, you know, and you know, make sure that you attribute it to your livelihood, you know. So that's why I've been doing this thing with Goldbrick Olympics right now by myself, but once I get a pattern down and make a few more decisions, I'm gonna try to get some people aboard, man, and try to make something happen.
Hell yeah, dude. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I just want to shout out some of the people in the chat. Jennifer jumped in. Much love to Jennifer. She loves everything that we're doing, and hopefully we're going to get some merch ready soon. Big shout out to my man Joe Cyrus, awesome West Coast producer. Big shout out to Keith, Gate City homie. So I appreciate you letting me kind of like dig into the past because
good.
I know you're probably most excited and most emotionally fulfilled about this chapter in life that we're in today. And so the other day, obviously, as we mentioned, I had the pleasure of taking part in the digital listening party for your new full-length LIMBROSIA, which is awesome. And I know you also had previewed some of those months back with the pre-LIMBROSIA EP as well.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, and I read into it, and we obviously talked about it in that listening party a bit, but I wanted you to kind of have the chance to talk about how did you find yourself at the idea of LIMBROSIA, and how would you explain that to people as well?
So prior to like this project, I did a few EPs where I played with the whole concept of limbo. Like there was En Route to Limbo, Stuck in Limbo, Leaving Limbo, right? I did those. Part of it was attributed. I never really mentioned this. I was hospitalized for quite some time at one point around a year or two before COVID. I had cellulitis in my left leg, and it was like the worst. It was like one of the worst situations, and it was just a lot of uncertainty there. And when I got out of the hospital, I was like eager to put out music. So, and I was thinking about the whole thing about uncertainty when it comes to Limbo. I was like, you know what? That's how I've been feeling. So I put out those 3 EPs, not that year, but like just a couple months afterwards, because I was still like healing and trying to get better. And for some reason, the whole concept of ambrosia hit me, because I thought about like, you know, the whole thing about uncertainty and how people embrace it and don't embrace it, or like, and you're on a high, or you're probably intoxicated from it, like ambrosia. So ambrosia, I was like, I didn't see anybody else come up with that name or even thought to. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna name it this, because I try to embrace the good of uncertainty in a way, because it like gives people something to look forward to, or better yet, trying to like, yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, basically just feeling good about uncertainty. We're not always feeling good about it because we don't know what the outcome of something will be, but sometimes there's something good that comes out of uncertainty, and it's like, okay, cool. So, a lot of the topics I talk about on there are like things I was uncertain about before, until I just made a decision, like, boom, this is what I'm feeling right here. So, songs like when I was talking about stuff like scene stuff, right? That was like me finally saying, hey, this is what I feel about, some of these scenes I've been a part of when it comes to like hip hop. I mean, because we've got these subgenres there, and there are people who have acted in ways where like I wanted to like talk about that. You know what I'm saying? That song called "They Don't Just Want You to Win Just Yet." I was literally talking about dealing with like politics and award shows, and like people who I've championed to win, how they treated me back. And I just felt like, you know what? I have to like take a stance on that, Yeah. So yeah, it was just like things like that. Two of the songs I wanted to save for another project that I was going to release later. It's like that album took me 5 years.
Damn.
And, well, because like, and there's a lot to it. I mean, because I was working on other projects, and those came out like, Insurance for Your Self-Esteem and Pop Culture Villain. A couple of those records came out. Psychedelic City Cowboy shit was like, that was just like a random like thought, and I never talked about my time being in the city life of somebody who came from like the sticks in the country down south. I never talked about how the city affected me, so I had to get that out. Limbrosia was like crafting everything, like from the beats with that we get from Height to some of my production. I got like a beat from Vanderslice. Shout out to Vanderslice, who was like does great work. Got a beat from Fresh Kills, and I just wanted to make sure that I did good work with those tracks. And when it came out, it came out. It was definitely like a pretty ill. It was pretty ill the concept for me to work on. So I'm grateful it finally came out, man. So.
I love that. It's funny because you mentioned some of your collabs, and that was one of the questions I had. I wrote that there are some great collabs on the record, including Rob Sonic, Henri Osborne, Marv One, and more. I know you had told some of the stories about these in the listening party chat, but for everybody checking you out tonight, how did a lot of these features come to be? Did you have a chance to work with any of these people in person, or was this mostly remote stuff that you were curating song by song?
I was definitely remote. I mean, I've met Jay says from Low Catalyst, like I run into him like every few months, and sometimes talk to him every few months. That's my guy. Um, Such a dope rapper. He put out a record that I love this year. Cash Cashflow Boot and Shelter. So dope. My man Spare the Nation. People need to check him out. He's he has a group called Lunar Heights that's from the Bay Area. Me and him went to Howard together, but he wound up like going back after a year and some change. He has a lot of stuff with Far Side. A lot, like he produced some dope. Like he has some dope records with Far Side. He has a dope record with Supernatural. He's dope. Amani from Far Side is his cousin. I don't put that out too much, but yeah, that's his people's. But like him as a rapper, Spare the Nation. Check him out.
Yeah, because he's on the record, right?
Yeah, he's on the record called Still Fam. Yep. And that's the first, and that's crazy. He's like the one person that taught me how to write bars, like write in an organized fashion in a composition notebook. We go back to like the late 90s. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's my guy. Rob Sonic. I'd known Rob through the Philly Flavor website. They used to run to him there. Shout out to Philly Flavor. I was a fan of his during the Sonic some days. What's the name of that album? Sanity Annex. I think it was back before they did stuff with Jeff. He did stuff with Def Jux. But I was always a fan. I did a show with him and Henri before. So I got him on the record. I just asked him one day, I was like, yo, you want to get on a record? He said, sure. So, put it together. Same with Henri. Henri, I did 2 or 3 different shows with him back when he was putting out a lot of stuff with Zavala or Dark Time Sunshine. He impressed me as a rapper, man. I had to put him on record. Marv One, he is one of my favorite battle rappers, like hands down. I watch battle rap. Not as much as I used to, but Marv One battle I'm watching. Like there's just no joke. Like he doesn't get as much credit in the battle rap world as I think he should now, because he can battle rap and make great music. It's hard to do. He does production and he raps well.
Yeah.
So
not everybody can go back and forth between those two worlds like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So with him, I was just like, I kept like seeing he put up stuff about beats and he did verses. So I was like, really? I was like, yo, I just hollered at him. We just made it happen. So he got on the record. Vanderslice, I know him from the Philly Flavor site too. I actually met him in person before we worked together. On his birthday, he just randomly hit me up. It's like he donated a track to me just on some like on a birthday gift thing. I was like, word? I was like, dang, dude. I didn't even think that, because Vanderslice is a tough critic, bro. He's one of those beat makers where he knows what he wants to hear out of his artist or the artist he's working with. So like I took my time with that record because I didn't want him to like be mad as hell if he heard the record. He's like, man, damn it, I shouldn't have given you. But he's just a tough critic, man. So I was thankful for that. Fresh Kills, we did a show. It was Fresh Kills, Maya Kiltron, shouts to her. Coolsy, good guy from Ohio. Dope dude. Yeah, love Coolsy.
I rocked with Coolsy when he did the copyright tour years back.
Yeah, we did copyright tour. Right. Yeah. Coolsy's my guy. And Michael Kill from North Carolina, I want to say. They did a show here in D.C. I got help set up, and me and Fresh kept in contact ever since. And I hit him up about this beat I heard he had on SoundClick. I was like, because like I don't use SoundClick like that. I don't even know somebody that still uses SoundClick.
Yeah, I know. That brought me back to like fucking high school or something.
I know, right? He still has SoundClick up. I was like, word? I was like, hold on, let me listen to some of these tracks. and I heard the beat. I was like, "Yo, what's up with this beat, man?" Like, I was gonna throw him his rate and everything, but he was like, "Don't even stress it. I got you, bro." I was like, "Oh, okay." But other than that, I'm gonna buy it. Don't try to hit him up for free beats. Don't try to hit up Vanderslice for free beats. All right, I'm not saying that.
It's done.
It just happened that way.
The cap has been met.
Yeah, like, I'll pay. Like, look, I just want people to know that, like, pay for your production, please. So, but
I had to mention, because you mentioned them earlier.
yeah.
This was the poster for when I opened for Henri and Rob back in 2016.
Oh, dope. Okay. They might have been on that same run. Like,
I bet you it was.
Yeah, because they definitely were in DC. I hooked them up, and me and Rob had definitely a dope talk, man. That's my guy, man. He's a good dude, and yeah, man. I think that might have been the start of the conversation for him to get on the track for later, So, yeah, I think that's when that happened. But yeah, I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, Bill Beats, obviously that's my homeboy. Me and him talk like at least once a week. Sometimes we don't even talk music. We just trade off goofy ass videos to each other, just be like cracking up, laughing about shit. Talk about sneak, like, yeah. Bill's my guy. And Miss, when I played with y'all, did with that show with y'all as Sasking or whatnot, I liked how he DJ'd, like, not even just the cuts, but the mixes. And I was just like, I heard the Upsetter record. I was like, he has to be he has to do the cuts for this, I think that's it. RNL, like, that's my brother. He's RNLification on all the streaming platforms. Y'all should check him out.
He just followed me today.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. Very solid figure in the world of hip hop here. I've always said he doesn't get his credit, and I'll say it again, he doesn't get his credit. There's a lot of things that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for him, and that's the honest to God truth. That's I would say 99% of the time, if you hear a record and its features, he's gonna probably be one of them, more than likely. Let the Dirt Save, man. I cannot forget them. I can't forget him. Like, that's my man Tim Hicks. He's won quite a few Whammy awards, which is like the DC Grammys. He is. I don't know how to describe this. He is like a very conscious street artist that just like he just captures the moment, bro. Let the Dirt Say Amen. I'm just gonna say, you gotta hear his music. His music there's something to be said about people who capture the essence of like what's been happening in DC for a while. He has like songs that do that very, very well. And he's a producer, so he kind of gives you like an in-depth feel about like how it feels to be in the city, and then beyond that, what's affecting the Black community, and then what's affecting hip hop, and what's affecting love, and all these different things. He's on his way, man. He's been back and forth between here and LA. I was happy to have him to be a part of the record, because myself, Arnell, and Let the Dirt Say Amen, we've worked on stuff together before, but I've never brought him on a record of mine like I should have before. So that was a big deal for me. So,
speaking of like making the record, I wanted to ask you about what the recording process was like, because I noticed that you did some of it yourself. Some of it says was recorded at American University in Washington, D.C. by the students and faculty. And some of it was recorded at Night Sky in Waldorf, Maryland with Ron Venta. So I thought that was really interesting. So I wanted to kind of dig into like how different all of these recording environments were. And was that something intentional that you wanted to introduce to the album, or that just like happenstance of building up this collection of songs?
So An old coworker of mine who was like my homeboy, close homeboy, Matt. He teaches at American University.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so he teaches like anything you could think of in terms of just like learning how to use a studio, because the American University studio was built by the same person that made the Electric Ladyland studio.
Damn, I did not know that.
Oh, yeah, that studio is unbelievably sick. It is top of the line gear, all that. So he'll call me in sometimes and just like go up there and record, and like so students learn how to record it. I will go to, if I don't record it myself at home, sometimes I just do that because I don't always get to go in there, and it helps streamline the process. Ron Vito, who has done stuff he did stuff for like LaFace Records back in the day, and he has like his own metal band. That dude is ridiculous. I'll go up there with like a lot of stuff already recorded, and like he'll just mix it, bro. Or if I need to do additional recording, I'll do it there. That man is insane when it comes to the process of just like being able to help you put together a good record. You know, he's opened up my mind and my foresight to like putting together records more. I probably can't self-record at my house anymore and go in there to mix because he's telling people that he's not doing it anymore, which I understand. I messed up my mic preamps on a record or two. I felt so bad. But, you know what I'm saying? You live and you learn. But, like, he's been a dope dude to work with, man. Like, I get up there, we make it like we make a day of it. Sometimes being my man Arnell, my man Edward, who's on the record too as well. I should have said that. He's on the record with Rob Sonic. We'll just make a day of it sometimes. Sometimes we'll do like records together because we have our own group called Drop Lockers that came out a while back. But then sometimes we'll just do stuff by ourselves too, or stuff with someone so featured on whatever track. So, you know, it's crazy. Definitely dope.
Man, that is really dope. So I'm sure you've probably seen me spouting on about it before, but most of the people that know me and know Hellhound know that we're really big into physical media.
Right.
And so I got to highlight this comment that we got in the chat a little while back that says "Long live physical media," because that's our slogan. But the reason I bring that up is because you have some awesome like vinyl and cassette and CD releases that I've noticed. Do you have any physical release plans for LIMBROSIA?
Definitely. I didn't do it right away because I was trying to figure out quantities of everything. Pre-LIMBROSIA, I'm more than likely going to put that on vinyl. Like that'll be the first full length of any project I put on vinyl. When I did, well, actually, I take that back. My Uninsured Ego was on vinyl. That's the first like real vinyl pressing I did of a full project. I did like selected cuts and like a DJ version with like with Psychedelic City. I put like instrumentals and like a song that's never been released on it, just to kind of make it special since it was in color vinyl. But yeah, for like the pre-LIMBROSIA stuff, I'm gonna put that's gonna just no extra instrumental, nothing, just straight up the whole EP. The LIMBROSIA album will be on tape. That will be on tape.
Okay.
I've been wanting to press more tapes because it's an underrated media, and a lot of people don't think about this too. When you have a tape, I feel like you're on a walk. If you're like going on a run or something, you know, you just let the tape play.
Exactly.
You don't try to like hurry up and go to the next song. You just let the tape play and you just enjoy what you're listening to. And I think that's why I think tapes are very underrated. It's like I feel like it's a focus thing. I don't know why I feel like that. It's like you get your phone in your hand, you swipe through so much different stuff, but like when you get a tape, you just push play, you just let it go.
Yeah, it allows you to experience the sequencing the way it was supposed to too.
All right, exactly. So, yeah, there's definitely going to be physical copies. I'm doing it later in order to re-promote it too. I want to
Yeah,
be able to re-promote it. In this day and age, it's like there's so many different ways to promote what you're doing. I want to do this so I can re-promote it and then gear up for the next stuff I got coming up. So it's yeah, man. Just be on the lookout. In 2025, there will be physical copies of the LIMBROSIA project.
I
So
love that. Do you have any touring planned or any big things in the pipeline for 2025 that you want to share with people yet?
okay, I have some things that are pending. Um, I might be on the road. I mean, we'll talk all after all this too. Like I still got you for that. Don't worry about that. Um, I might be on the road closer to like late summer, early fall.
Hell yeah.
Possibly. We just gotta work out the details. Um, I know I'll probably be back in Austin for Nerdcore Days, which is adjacent to South by Southwest. I think I'll be back there for that. Um, I feel like there was something else I was supposed to do. I can't think of it right now. Um, I feel like, and you probably understand this. I feel like you get invited to go over here, over there a lot, do shows over here and there, and like you went on tour, but you got more music to work on. I just be
Yep.
like, I gotta work on this now. It's like, look, either spend this money to get up to where you at, or just spend the money to record like more of this project I've been working on for like X amount of months. So decisions, man.
Dude, I feel that, man.
Mhm.
Dude, thank you so much for making time to shoot the shit with me tonight and let me
No
dig
problem.
into Limbrosia. I love the new record. Hope
Yeah, good.
everybody's watching either live tonight. This will also be on YouTube in probably like an hour or two.
Yeah,
So
man.
if you're watching this, the link is scrolling across the bottom. Make sure you follow Ardamus at The Real Ardamus and at Goldbrick Olympics. You can
Mhm.
find all of his music at ardamus.bandcamp.com as well as goldbrickolympics.bandcamp.com. And as he just mentioned, you may have a chance to see him on the road in 2025. You'll see him in DC, you'll probably see him in Texas, and hopefully you'll see him in the Northeast as well.
Oh yeah, man. Look, man, I love y'all up there in New Hampshire, man. Y'all have such an underrated like scene of what y'all doing, man. I see it, and I hope y'all continue to keep doing it and get more people to put shine on y'all. You know what I'm saying? I see it, man. So
Thank
hell
you.
yeah, hell yeah. That Giant Steps record, yeah, man. Good shit.
Hey,
That's,
thank you, bro.
yeah,
Appreciate
man.
that.
I've been paying attention, man. And I have to keep up with Hellhound, man. Y'all doing a lot of good work, man.
Hey,
Keep
thank
it
you,
up.
bro. Appreciate that.
Keep it up. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Man, thank you so much, bro. Obviously, I'm going to talk to you soon either way, but
Exactly. Yeah.
big thank you for jumping on doing the pod with me tonight on such short notice.
Oh, no
Um,
problem, bro.
like I said, man, everybody go check out Limbrosia. It's out now. It's on Bandcamp. Check out Pre-Limbrosia as well. You can check out the whole back catalog. Psychedelic City Cowboy Shit, one of my favorite records. You can go check that out as well. Um, but yeah, thank you so much, bro. I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody else thinks about the record, and I will definitely talk to you soon.
You too,
Much
brother.
love.
My you later, IG.
Peace.
Peace.
Man, big ups, huge thank you once again to Ardamus for joining me on the show tonight. Big thank you to everybody that tuned in, everybody that was in the comments. Big shout out. We had Joe Cyrus, we had my brother Ryan Gravel, we had Jen, Megan, Jessica, all sorts of people from YouTube and Facebook. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. Like I said, I apologize that we didn't do a show last week, but I was just drained and I just needed to take some time to recoup. But with that said, there's not going to be many breaks coming up. We have some awesome guests lined up for the next few weeks. So let me just cover some ground on that real quick. So next Monday, I'm going to have comedian Andrew McGinnis on the show with me. He's hilarious. We just met at a gig that we did a couple weeks back. Monday, December 23 is going to be my holiday movie marathon panel. So open invitation to everybody to jump in the comments. I'm going to bring a bunch of you guys into the live feed with me, and we're going to talk all of our favorite holiday movies, best ones, worst ones, funniest ones, across all genres. So we're going to get real excited for that. Monday, December 30th is going to be another live chat show. It's going to be end of the year highlights and 2025 goals. So any of my friends, anybody of the viewers, if you want to submit a video or if you want to jump in that night and talk about what your goals are for 2025, I would love to have you on the show. I'm going to use this as a big inspiration to get people motivated for the next year to be their best selves. Monday, January 6th, I'm excited to have my brother Fee the Evolutionist and Joey B MCs and hosts of Hybrid Theory Radio on Wave Radio Boston every Tuesday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hybrid Theory Radio is an awesome internet radio show that supports local business, local music. It's obviously with the name hybrid, it's hip hop, it's hardcore, it's rock, it's all sorts of great stuff. So I'm excited to have them on this show now so that we can talk about their show. Fee the Evolutionist has a ton of new music coming out, so really excited to cover that. Monday, January 13th, I'm excited to have my good friend Jay DePietro on the show. He has a program called Unbreakable Coaching, which is a life coach mentor service that he's been studying and providing. And so I'm really excited to learn more about that and how that's had an impact on his life. January 20th is David Lynch Day, Hellhound Film Club style. So we're going to be talking all David Lynch shit that day because it's his birthday and he is one of my favorite directors of all time. Lastly, Monday, January 27th, I'm excited to have my new friend, Jeremiah Walton, local New Hampshire poet and host of Bards on the Rocks on Wednesdays in Manchester, New Hampshire. So we got a ton of great stuff coming up on the pod, a ton of exciting episodes. I'm really excited to have you guys. Oh shit, my boy Ryan just said that's my B-day. Let's go. You know you're gonna have to pull up and hang out with us here at the studio that day then. So yeah, ton of great episodes coming up. I'll announce more guests as we line them up, but I'm really excited. I'm so grateful that everybody is getting behind the show and supporting it. It's been really fun for me to do, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as you guys keep enjoying it because I'm having fun. I'm grateful to get to talk to so many interesting people all the time. And yeah, so a lot of cool stuff coming up. Want to just take a moment here to be shameless and plug some of my own stuff. Saturday, December 21st, myself and Byron G will be live on WMNH Radio 95.3 FM, which is based in Manchester. So if you're in the broadcast range, tune in live at 11 a.m. It's also going to be streaming online. You can check that out, WMNH Radio. That'll be on their website as well. The following day, Sunday, December 22nd, we are going to be playing our last show of 2024 at the Inimitable Rap Night Manchester, based at the Shaskeen in Manchester, New Hampshire. Anybody that knows us knows that Rap Night has been a big part of my life, and I love those guys. So there's no better way to close out the year than with the friends and family of the New Hampshire hip-hop community. Last but not least, Giant Steps in Gate City is available on CD now. For the very first time, we have a limited pressing of these CDs available. We've already been shipping a lot out. They're going fast. Thank you guys so much for the support. You can get one now at hellhoundpublishing.com. You can visit the link right there, scrolling across the bottom. Thank you guys for the support on the new record. It really means so much. Shout out my girl Star. Much love. Appreciate you jumping in here. It's my dog. Yeah, so make sure you guys, Giant Steps in Gate City. It's on all streaming platforms right now. And you can get these limited CDs from us. It's 18 brand new tracks. It's got really some cool artwork in here, cool liner notes and stuff. Like I said, we did a small run of these, so get one while you can. Believe it or not, this is the 15th record that has come out on Hellhound Publishing now. Thank you guys so much for supporting Hellhound Publishing over the years, to the fact that I can say we've put out 15 records. It's really cool, and none of this shit would be possible without you guys supporting. So like I said, we got a really crazy lineup of people coming on the show starting next week. And yeah, man, Giant Steps in Gate City. Just tell everybody. If you've listened to it and you like it, best thing you can do is tell somebody. Send them the fucking Spotify link if that's what they listen to. It's on YouTube. Send them YouTube shit. Make a post about it. But I just can't tell you guys enough. Word of mouth is one of the most important things. I can sit here all day and ask you guys to listen to shit and buy shit and stream shit and whatever, but nobody's gonna trust somebody more than their friend telling them that they like something. So if you really like the record, all I can ask is that you tell a friend, send them a link. If they like CDs, let them know we got them. Peace and love to my brother Ryan, one of my best friends and one of the best Hellhound supporters. I'm so grateful to have friends like Ryan and all of you guys in my life. So thank you guys so much for that. I'm going to wrap this thing up. I hope I see you guys on December 22nd in Manchester. I hope you guys pick up a copy of Giant Steps in Gate City on CD before they're gone. hellhoundpublishing.com. And if I don't see you this week, I'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m. right here. Same bat channel, same bat time. Much love.